What's good, everyone? What's good, YouTube? Gonna experiment with something. Gonna try something real quick. I might do another one of these. Basically, I wanted to go through a mock draft. This is my first mock draft, so it'll be I'll be recording my actually first mock draft. Haven't done much homework on fantasy football yet. I do know football. I know a lot about football, but fantasy is kind of different because you're picking players according to the settings in your league, the points, etc., etc. Right, as you see, I got a mock draft on ESPN. It's going to start in about 2 minutes and 30 something seconds, and then we'll take it from there. I set it up to be in a 12-team league, and it's a basic head-to-head point system, meaning there's no PPR. PPR stands for points per reception, and I may do another one of these with PPR, which kind of changes everything according to your draft. That makes receivers a little bit more valuable, and running backs that receive a lot, like the Ecklers, make them a little bit more valuable. But in this league where it's not PPR, they're not as valuable as you would get, as you would see in the PPR, because there's no points per reception. So it's strictly based on rushing and, the rushing yards you gain, receiving yards you gain, and touchdowns, right? So running backs that, are good runners like a Chubb and a Henry would be kind of more valuable than the Ecklers and the McCaffreys, right? Or about even, you know what I'm saying? But as in the PPR, those running backs would be more valuable, as well as receivers like a Justin Jefferson and Chase. And don't get me wrong, they're still as valuable, but it's a kind of like a different concept. You feel me? So yeah, we got a minute and 20 seconds ago. Like I said, we're gonna try it out. Gonna try it out, sharing my screen at the same time, and and I'll be walking through it and going through it. Obviously, there's gonna be 11 other teams in here, probably doing their mock draft. There will be times where some of these guys would probably like jump off or not even care, and they're just looking at it. For me, when I do these, I like to see what people are taking, in the early rounds, who are the more valuable choices, so that when I do my actual drafts in the fantasy leagues that I play with, playing with my boys, I'll know more or less who, people may be targeting, right? So that's what I'm looking for, what I'm saying? Because obviously this is practice, this doesn't count, but what I'm saying, we get to see, maybe I'll see some sleepers, I'll grab early just to see where more or less where they're taking, what I'm saying? So yeah, so let the countdown begin. Let's see what happens, and let's see what's good. Let me go to my draft screen right now. Hopefully, it pops up right off this, because it may open another tab. We'll see how this works, because I may have to reshare the screen. But let's see, right? But as you see, I have the third pick, and it's going to start in 5 seconds and counting. So I'm going to be back and forth just to make sure that it is viewing what's on my screen. Feel me? So let's see what happens. Is it going to pop up? What's going on here? It's good. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. I don't see anything. Nothing has popped up yet. So not sure what exactly is going on. That's weird. Edit pre-draft rankings. I shouldn't have to do that. It's supposed to give me another screen with the actual draft room. And let's see what it says. Links to standard settings. 3-minute window between the draft time on this page and when the draft actually starts to allow all managers. So maybe it's going to pop up within 3 minutes. So let me just keep talking some shit until this actually pops up. If not, I guess I'm going to have to re-record, and everything I just said will be invalid, as I will have to probably do this again. But yeah, so we're going to do this live draft, this mock draft, as an experiment, as not an experiment, more of like a practice, and you guys could take a look and give your opinions if you got any opinions on fantasy football. I plan to go live tonight. Today is Friday, August the 18th. I plan on going live. It's about 3:40 right now on the East Coast here in the Bronx, New York, and I'm probably going to go live probably around between 10:30 and 11. Depends on when my co-host can come on. If my co-host can't come on, then I'll just rock out by myself. And the goal and the focus on today's live will be football and fantasy football. You know what I'm saying? And I hope to have people kind of in the chat or wanted to come in on the panel and talk. And now the draft room is open. I'm going to click the link here, the little draft icon, and see what happens. I'm going to come back to my screen here, and it looks like it is showing the draft in StreamYard. So let's do it. I got the third pick, and now it's giving me another countdown. The draft is starting in a minute and 5 seconds. So more countdowns. I just want to get this done and over with. It looks like we're going to be drafting bench players as well. I may cut it a bit early. You know what I'm saying? Just maybe do maybe 10 rounds, if anything, depending on how fast the rest of these guys pick. I think it's going to give us like 45 seconds each pick. Not too sure. I haven't done, obviously I haven't done a mock draft in a year since last year, and since I did my real life drafts with my in my fantasy leagues. So let's see what happens here. You see our settings. I like to look the projected. So projected based off this, if I click this, it's projected of points. It's giving everything. You see, obviously quarterbacks are more valuable, but you don't usually take a quarterback because there's so many good quarterbacks out there, right? You got Joe Burrow, who's questionable. We don't know how severe his injury is. That changes everything. But for now, I'm just going to, instead of do all positions, I'm just going to look at flex, meaning receivers, running backs, and tight ends. And right now they have projected Henry and Chase as like it's going to be 30 seconds each pick. Let's see what's good. I'm on the clock, so it looks like the first two picks were Derrick Henry, then Jefferson. My guess is that the first two picks were probably auto picks because that was extremely quick. So I'm going to go third pick. I like to draft running backs early in the round, so I'm going to go with a solid guy, and my man Nick Chubb, who gets the ball a lot. They run the ball a lot. They got Watson back. So let's see how that offense kind of gels with Watson in a full season. You know what I'm saying? So he's been off for like almost 2 years, and then he got a few games last year. So I don't know. Wonder how the Browns offense will gel, with him in a full season. But to me, I think they're a running team. So I took Chubb as my first pick. So I already got my one running back. I'm going to leave it here on my flex because I'm going to look to take another skills player in the second round unless I see quarterbacks get taken. Jamar Chase got taken. McCaffrey, Eckler. As you see, running backs are going. Justin Jefferson was the first overall pick. Like I said, could have been an auto pick, but he's a wide receiver. And then now you see the running backs get taken, which usually, Jamar Chase got taken fourth. Usually running backs go in the first round. That's the usual consensus, unless somebody tries to be slick and take a monster quarterback late in the first round, like obviously on Mahomes. Some people like to go that route because they feel they could draft like sleeper running backs in the mid rounds. So let's see what's up. Cooper Kupp just got taken, which I feel is an auto pick. I would not have taken him in the first round because he's coming off an injury and he's hurt right now. I don't know. And the Rams are not going to be a good team this year. So that's a bad pick. That might have been an auto pick. Tyreek Hill, nice pick. Bijan Robinson from Atlanta. I'm hearing good things about him. That's the rookie back there out of the Falcons. On the Falcons. Josh Jacobs is still there, but we don't know the status of his playing yet, if he's going to, sign the franchise tag or not. Stephon Diggs, Devontae Adams taken. One of the bad things about drafting third overall is you got to wait. It's a snake draft, go all the way to the end, and then it comes back to you. Garrett Wilson, wow, that's a surprise. Saquon Barkley, CeeDee Lamb. The receivers are going. Garrett Wilson had a monster year with a bad quarterback situation in the Jets. And this year, they got Aaron Rodgers, so I guess expecting big things out of Garrett Wilson. He is a stud receiver, offensive rookie of the year, even though I thought Kenneth Walker should have won from Seattle. As you know, I'm a Seahawks fan, so I'm a little bit biased, but Kenneth Walker did had a great rookie year as well. Jonathan Taylor is another guy injury prone. He's threatening not to play as well. That's another shaky pick. If you do take him, that's why he's still there. Jacobs got picked. Now I'm on the clock, and my auto pick would be Metcalf, which is funny. But you know what? I'm going to go running back again here because I see a few of them. I don't like taking guys on my team, but I am going to go with Travis Etienne Jr. I like Travis Etienne. He had a nice year last year. The first year he was hurt for the whole year, coming out of Clemson. Last year he had a nice little year on the comeback, and this year he should be solid in a full season as the number one running back for the Jacksonville Jaguars. DK Metcalf, T. Higgins just went. So now I already got two running backs. I need receivers, a quarterback, tight end. Let's see what's out there. I'm still going to look at the flex. I'm going to see that Owens just taken. I'm going to see what quarterbacks are there before I make a decision. You got Allen, Hurts, Burrow, Lamar. Do I take a chance that I get one of these studs coming back? Of course I do. So I'm going to look and see what's the next possible receiver I can take here. And everybody's a running back, which would be flex. So the clock is ticking, and I'm going to go with my man DeVonta Smith, who had a nice year for the Eagles last year. That's the Heisman winner for a few years ago out of Alabama, who is a stud, who is the number 2 guy to A.J. Brown, right? And if the clock didn't, stress me out, I might have went with another running back real quick and put him at flex, and then I would have been looking for receivers later on in the draft. But because the clock was ticking, I said, screw it, and took, DeVonta Smith. And I'm happy with that pick, right? He's a stud. He's a stud receiver. He's got great hands. He's quick off the line. He's a fast receiver, former Heisman. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Hurts coming off an MVP type season. So, yeah, why wouldn't I? I mean, it's not the worst pick in the world. You know what I'm saying? And, solid pick it there, especially if I already have my 2 running backs. Also want to take a look at the bye weeks. You try not to get the same guys in the same bye weeks because for that week, you'll be in trouble and you'll be missing players and you have to fill in. So right now, I'm looking good on my bye weeks. I have a Chubb in the 5th, Etienne in the 9th, and DeVonta Smith in the 10th bye week. So not bad. I'm not killing myself in the bye weeks. Let's see what happens. Walker taken, Lamar Jackson taken. Let's see. Quarterback Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen. So the quarterbacks are starting to get taken as well. Jahmyr Gibbs just went here in the 4th round. That's a rookie back out of Detroit. They're saying good things about him. They're saying Detroit's going to be good this year. They don't have a shot in the playoffs. Let's look at my tight ends and see if I see any big tight ends. I will not do it. So I want to say look at wide receivers. DJ Moore, I love Mike Williams, love Mike Evans, but I don't like the quarterback. Keenan Allen frustrates me a lot. So I may have to go with Justin Herbert right here, who has nothing but talent all around him and should put up big numbers, who is probably top 5 guys to have a chance to win the MVP. So now, as you see, I got Herbert and Chubb both at the bye week's number 5. And I'm going to look to get a receiver here. And because I drafted Herbert, I might as well draft Mike Williams to get the double points, right? I don't see anybody else. I love Scary Terry, week by 14. So you know what? Let's do it. Let's go with Scary Terry. I like Scary Terry, and I actually like Howell for Washington as a, to have a good year for them this year. They got talent around. They got a couple good wide receivers in Washington, and Sam Howell, he can move too. A very underestimated runner. And I love Scary Terry. He got great hands, runs good routes. You know what I'm saying? So I took him. Mike Williams, the reason I didn't take him there is he's injury prone, right? The guy tends to get injured a lot. Every year, misses a few games. So I went with a safe choice there. Mike Evans, they got Baker there playing quarterback. I'm not too confident in Baker. You know what I'm saying? So, but Mike Evans is definitely a stud. Probably the best receiver there at the moment, but the quarterback kind of scares me. That's why I didn't take him. Let's take a look at our bye weeks. Bye weeks are looking good, except quarterback and running back here. Not bad. That's why you have bench players, right? So I'm going to look at flex. I'm going to look at take another skills player and maybe running back or receiver, right? I see Pacheco there. I like Pacheco, Boricua, he's there. He's questionable. He'll play. He does a little bit of everything. That's my man Pacheco, Boricua out of Rutgers University. James Conner is there. That's a solid pick. J.K. Dobbins, Mr. Injury Prone on Baltimore. Um, Cam Akers just got taken. Got Goodwin, Dallas Goddard. That's a good type. Taken right when I was ready to grab him. So let's look to see what we got here. I like Killer Herbert, but he's not the guy. Dalvin Cook, I'm gonna grab here, and he's gonna be the starting running back for the Jets. Until Brees Hall is really ready. And the thing about Dalvin Cook is injury prone too, right? He's due to miss some games as well, but he's going to be the number one back for New York from what I'm hearing. Remember, Hall is coming off injury. I like Hall a lot. I think he's a stud, but coming off a big injury like that, you never know. And I think they'll ease him into it. They paid this guy a lot of money for this Dalvin Cook, a lot of money to be the guy. And boom, back to me. So where we going now? We still need receivers flex. I got 3 backs, running back. I no tight end. The tight ends at this point, it's a crapshoot in my opinion. So you know what? Let's go with the skill players. And I'm gonna go with my man Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett, he's a stud. Every year, 1,000 yards. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't drop the ball. You know what I'm saying? Great receiver, runs great routes, great hands, and the Seahawk. So I don't like taking Seahawk players, but I'll take Tyler Lockett here in the 7th round. I just see this draft is moving quick. I'm going to do a few more picks, and then I'm going to end it because I don't want this to drag on. But I'll do another one, and maybe I'll do another one when I go live. I'll see if maybe tonight, if I maybe try to do one live with with my co-host, or if I'm by myself, maybe do it with people in the chat and see what they could, they tell me in the chat if I did bad, if I did good, if they, hating on me, if they're laughing at me, if they're saying, oh, good pick, you know what I'm saying? Interact with you guys and see what you guys think. So check it. Rashad Penny's still there, Mr. Injury Prone, of course, former Seahawk. Whenever he was on the field, he played great. You know what I'm saying? And then he just got hurt. He was looking good for Seattle, and not a bad pick here. He'll be sharing the ball with Swift, who was with the Lions, another injury-prone guy. You know what I'm saying? So, but if Penny, of course, can stay healthy, I expect him to be the number one guy in Philly. So, yeah, we still need a tight end and some bench players, a kicker and a defense. So maybe I'll just do this. Maybe I'll look to take a defense here just because I'm just going to do a couple more rounds. We have a few solid defense here. The Niners defense, I hate the Niners, but the Niners always pretty solid every year. They have a good front four. They put pressure on the quarterback. They get it. Secondary to me is a little bit shaky. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to draft the Niners because to me, they're one of the top defenses in fantasy football, just especially because of their front four. All right, and then I'm going to look at tight ends. Let's look at the tight ends that are left at this way. We're in round 9. It's going to come back to me. I'm not going to draft a kicker, so don't worry about that. Kickers a dime a dozen. You do have a few kickers. We can maybe talk about that later tonight, if anything. Probably by the time I post this, will probably be a little tight ends. Schultz, who had a good year with the Cowboys, now with the Houston Texans, and they have a rookie quarterback now. I don't like any of these tight ends here. Don't like any of them. Tyler Higbee's pretty good, pretty solid. Do not like any of these guys. I'm going to go with Schultz because he is a stud tight end. Just, the quarterback situation is a little shaky. So, yeah, I'll do one more pick, and I'll do a flex pick. Let's see what's out there. Hopefully you guys are looking at the right side of and seeing who's getting picked. Look at Jackson Smith Njigba out of Seattle, the first-round pick. Second pick for Seattle in the first round. Out of Ohio State. I'm expecting big things from them. I expect big things from Seahawks in general on offense. They've got great offensive talent around Geno. If Geno can just get protected and play as good as he played last year, I expect good things from the Seahawks this year on paper. I don't know what's going to happen on the field, but I expect them to be good. Last year, I didn't expect them to do well at all. They surprised me, made the playoffs. Yeah, they got smacked by the team we hate the most, but they weren't, in my opinion, they weren't supposed to be there. They overachieved. So now they have to build from that, and they're supposed to, in my opinion, be better than last year, right? So I'm expecting them to make the playoffs, and I expect them to at least win one playoff game, right? So that's my expectation of the Seahawks. Realistic expectations. I try to be as realistic as possible. I'm not a fanboy. I love my team, but I'm realistic when it comes to my team. And I will shit on my team if I need to shit on my team. So yeah, I'm looking at the flex guys. Not many guys left. I mean, I still see Penny there. I'm going to put him on my queue. I'd grab him. I like him. He's a bench guy. He's coming off the bench. You have our starters, right? So why not? If he's there, I take him, right? Michael Gallup seems to be a favorite target of Dak if it's not CeeDee Lamb. Um, he's another guy that gets injured a lot. Uh, Darryl Mooney, I like. I like my guy out of Seattle who's going to be backing up Walker. But then again, he's a backup. I think Penny will get more touches as long as he stays healthy. So to me, he's the next guy I would take at this moment. Whether or not he'll be there, who knows? Let's see what happens. My queue looks good right now. And they just it's on me. My pick now. I got 20 seconds. As who would I take here as a skills player? Jeff Wilson, Perrine, Gallup, Mitchell, Mr. Injury Prone. Mostert seems good. Um, not a big fan. So I'm gonna go with Ezekiel Elliott because I think he will get touches in the Pats. They like to rotate their backs. I think he'll get a lot of goal line touches. So not a bad guy to be on my bench, right? I'm not looking to start him week 1, week 2. I'm looking for him to start only if one of my guys was to happen to get hurt. Maybe I'll go with one more pick just because it's coming back to me quickly. I got a few bench players. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a peek. Solid picks out here. And let's see, maybe I got week 5 as a bye week, so I'm going to need a guy to fill in for Herbert. What quarterback would you guys select in this situation? Wilson, former Seahawk, new coach. Will he do well? I would say him. I like Richardson a lot, but I'm going to go with Russ just because I like Russ. And Russ don't take plays off. He plays hard. You know what I'm saying? I think he's going to have a way better year than last year. But me thinking it and him actually doing it, two different things. So, yeah, there you have it, my friends. There you have it. That was a nice little draft. I'm going to stop sharing and come back. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, my thing froze for some reason. Uh, and there we go. We're back up and running. I don't know why it froze. But yeah, uh, join us tonight. I don't know. I'm going to try to air this in the next 15 minutes and put all the details and crap like that. Look at me here at Yankee Stadium for a Notre Dame game. Um, you know what I'm saying? Go Irish. But yeah, join me tonight, approximately 10:30, 11, between 10:30 and 11:30. Not sure yet. I'll post it. Probably go live. We're talking football. Not much boxing this weekend. We got boxing next weekend, but I want to talk some football. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully, my co-host will be there to talk some football as well. Talk about their teams. I'll talk a little bit about Seattle. You know what I'm saying? I'll post a video after Seattle's preseason game, which I believe is tomorrow night. They play the Dallas Cowboys. So, you know, look out for that one. And yeah, man, continue to support the channel any which way you can, which is by just coming in and hitting that like button, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? I don't ask for anything else. Hit the like button, dislike it. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? It's my pick in the mock draft, so we'll just let that run. But yeah, thank you for taking your time out to look at this little mock draft. You breeze through it, fast forward it, whatever you did, to see what team I, you know, ended up with. So yeah, shout out to family TWT, and shout out to you guys for taking the time out to be here today.